Warriors Cats, The Next Generation, Riverpaw's Story. Allegiances. Leaders Diamond Star, Deputy Stoneclaw, Medicine Cat Spotted Pelt. Warriors are Fireblaze, Blue Pelt, Sotel, Blackclaw, Tiger Pelt. Queens Tiger Fur, Tiger Heart. Elders White Pelt. Next clan Shadow Clan. Leader Thornstar, Deputy Darkheart, Medicine Cap Petal Cloud. Warriors Greystorm, Sharpclaw, Apprentice Wirepaw, Shadowfur, and Blackfur. Queens Silverpelt, Kit's Eye Featherkit, Silverpaw, and Silverpaw. Elders Tigerfur, Frostpelt, and Lionpelt. Next clan Wind Clan. Leader is Hawkstar, Deputy Gorseheart, Medicine Cat Rose Clown, and warriors are Moonwake, Swift Ripple, Hail Cloud. Queens are Sunflower, with her kit being Wind Kit, and elders are Duskheart. River Clan. Leaders Breeze Star, Deputy Mossyfoot, Medicine Cat Willowheart. Warriors are Quiet Rain, Hail Leap, White Fur, Cloud Stream, Apprentice Smokepaw, Flower Storm, and Storm Feather. Queens Rose Flower with her kit Red Kit, Duskpelt with her kits Stream Kit and Storm Kit. Elders Mint Whisker, Feather Song, and Ember Flight. Cats Outside Clans, Clawface, and then his kits Coco, Midnight, and Patch, and then River. Introduction. It was a cold, rainy night. A Tom with blue eyes and a blue-gray she-cat sat under a tree. A blue-gray fur ball of fur was coiled up by the river. Both grown cats were discussing what they had to do. They were unable to provide for themselves anymore, much less their own kit, River. River had just been born a couple moons ago. Her eyes weren't open yet. "What are we going to do?" she asked her mate. "We haven't been able to find much prey here lately." "We'll do what we must. Those clans live around here. They'll find her, and if we're lucky, they'll take her in as their own. A cat would have to be mouse-brained not to take in an innocent kit. We'll leave her by the river. Some cat will find her, but we need to find prey. We have to leave clan territory, find someplace else. If we have to, maybe we'll be able to sneak into kitty pet territory and eat some of their food. None of us will survive if we don't do this. We can't abandon our kit. We can take her with us," she told her mate, not wanting to leave River behind. "She needs us." "No. What she needs is a better chance at surviving, and so do we. It's best if we just go now." She sighed in defeat, knowing he was right. Then they both got to their paws, took one last look at where River was coiled up by the river, trying to sleep, and padded away. Their hearts were heavy, not wanting to leave their kit, but they hoped that she would grow up in one of the clans and be welcomed there. Mossyfoot was leading a border patrol that had Quiet Rain, Stormfeather, and Hail Leap following behind him. On their way back from Marking River Clan territory, Pussyfoot stopped in his tracks. He couldn't tell what he was seeing because of the heavy rain, but he knew there was something there. "What is it?" Hellleap asked the deputy. The deputy gestured towards the river with his tail. "There's something by the river," he informed them all, answering Hellleap. "Come, let's check it out." Pussyfoot padded towards where the river was, Storm, Feather, and Quiet Rain at either of his flanks. When they reached the river, they found a tiny blue-gray fur ball. "Let's take the kit back to camp. This is not the night for a new cat to be out here, let alone the kit," Pussyfoot said. "I'll carry the kit," Quiet Rain told her clown deputy. Then she padded forward and gently picked the kit up by the scruff. Then the patrol padded back to camp. Soon they were back in camp and had spoken to Breeze Star. Breeze Star didn't like it, since she wasn't very nice when it came to cats that were Shadow Clan born, but she made an exception for this kit. After that, Quiet Rain entered the nursery and approached Roseflower, one of the queens. Duskpelt, the other queen, only had 2 kits to take care of, but Roseflower only had 1. Roseflower was a much better choice for this sheet kit. "What's this?" Roseflower politely asked when Quiet Rain gently put the sheet kit down by her in the nest, not far from Roseflower and her kit, Red Kit. "We found her by the river. We believe she was abandoned by her parents, whoever they are, for whatever reason. I was hoping you would be willing to take care of one more kit." "The poor kit, of course," she replied to her. Then she turned to the kit and began to lick her, working on getting her dry from the rain. Quiet Rain was satisfied and happy about Roseflower's answer and left the nursery to go for the warmth of her own nest. Red Kit silently watched everything. She was thrilled that she had a sibling now, a sister no less. Despite being a kit, though, she wasn't as rambunctious as the other kits in the nursery. She'd be an apprentice in a few moons, so she knew to behave herself and not be so rowdy. She wondered what had happened to her, though. "What are we going to name my new sister?" she asked, finally speaking. Roseflower looked at her tabby cat, who had grown so much it seemed like, pausing with licking the new kit, thinking for a few moments. "Well, she was found by the river, so I think we should name her River Kit." Then Roseflower went back to licking her clean and dry. "That's a beautiful name," Red Kit said, "and it fits her perfectly. When will her eyes be open?" she asked her mother. "In about half a moon," Roseflower answered her. "Now enough questions, go to bed." Red Kit did as she was told and fell asleep, snuggled against part of Roseflower. After she was nice and dry, River Kit made her way to Roseflower's belly and began to drink. Then, after she'd had her fill, she curled up against Roseflower and Red Kit going to sleep. Chapter 1. It was sun high, and there was excitement in the nursery. Duskpelt was trying to get her kits, Storm Kit and Stream Kit, to stop crowding Roseflower's nest. Red Kit, on the other hand, was at a safe distance in the nest. Roseflower just watched in silence. All of this happened as River Kit fully opened her eyes for the first time. "Hello, little one. Welcome to River Clan," Roseflower greeted her. "Hi, River Kit. My name is Red Kit. I'm your new sister," Red Kit greeted her. River Kit knew that Roseflower wasn't her real mother, and Red Kit wasn't her sibling. She'd been born as the only kit in the litter. Plus, she knew she looked nothing like Roseflower Red Kit. Also, she'd overheard all the conversations her parents had had. She knew that prey was scarce for them, so that's why they'd left her behind. She was sad that they had, but she knew she had a new family and some playmates now. She even had a kinda new name. "It's nice to meet you," she replied. Then she looked to see two kits that were as big as her adopted sister, Red Kit. "Hi, River Kit. I'm Stream Kit, and this is my brother, Storm Kit," she introduced. "Do you want to play something?" Storm Kit asked. "We can play Moss Ball if you want." River Kit looked at her adopted mother. "Can I?" "Of course," Roseflower said. "Don't play too rough," Duskpelt told her kits. "We won't," Stream Kit told her. Storm Kit got the moss ball as Red Kit and River Kit left their nest. Then Red Kit explained to her sister how to play. Then the game started. Chapter 2. Moons had passed since River Clan had found her. It seemed just like yesterday. Now it was the day of River Kit's apprentice naming ceremony. Red Kit, Stream Kit, and Storm Kit were already princes as of a moon ago, since they were a little older than she was. Although she made many friends in River Clan, every cat knew that there were a few cats whom second-guessed River Kit's loyalty. Roseflower was outside of the nursery with River Kit, licking her fur into place, when Breestar appeared on the high rock. "Let every cat old enough to catch his prey be seen here beneath the high rock for a clan meeting." The clan did as told, with Roseflower and River Kit sitting at the back together. Breestar continued, saying, "As you know, River Kit has been with us. River Kit has been with us for 6 moons. It's time for her to receive her apprentice name. Step forward, River Kit." Roseflower pushed her forward gently. "Go on," she encouraged her. River Kit padded through the crowd of cats and then sat at the base of the high rock, not knowing what she should do next. Breestar looked upon River Kit, who looked up at her. "River Kit, you have reached the age of 6 moons, and it is time for you to be apprenticed. From this day on, until you receive your royal name, you will be known as Riverpaw. Your mentor will be Hairleap. I hope Hairleap will pass down all she knows on to you. Hairleap, you are ready to take on an apprentice. You have received excellent training from Everflight, and you have shown yourself to be one to persevere and be courageous. You will be the mentor of Riverpaw, and I expect you to pass on all you know to Riverpaw." Hairleap touched Riverpaw's nose, and Riverpaw touched Hairleap's nose. Then the entire clan chanted Riverpaw's new name before Breestar jumped off the high rock, dismissing the meeting and ceremony. Roseflower approached Riverpaw and Hairleap. "Congratulations, Riverpaw," she praised. "Remember to listen to your mentor now," she then reminded her. "I will," Riverpaw replied. "I know you will. If not, I'll send you to do extra work with cleaning out the elders' fur and ticks," Hairleap warned her. Roseflower padded away, and Riverpaw looked at Hairleap. Cleaning the elders' fur of ticks did sound fun to her, but she knew what she was told. Besides, with the few cats that did trust her to keep her loyalty to RiverClan, she didn't want to spread any doubt to the whole of the clan. She didn't want to be cast out. She was lucky that RiverClan had found her. She wanted to prove with all she had that she could be just as loyal as any clan-born cat. "What do we do first?" she asked her. "First, I'll teach you how to hunt," Hairleap informed her. Then Haley headed for the entrance to the camp, Riverpaw following behind her into the forest. She remembered only the river and what surrounded it. She'd never been anywhere else before. Although her eyes hadn't been open yet, she'd been able to hear and smell things around her. Riverpaw padded at Hellleap's flank until Hellleap finally stopped in the middle of Riverclad territory. Now, before you learn to hunt, you must learn to know when there is prey nearby without it knowing you're there. And you must learn to kill it before it gets away from you, she instructed. Now, what do you smell? Riverpaw smelled the air, taking her time to distinguish all of the scents. Then she finally caught the scent that she was needing to find. A mouse, she replied. Good. Now, show me your hunter's crouch, Hellleap instructed of her apprentice. Riverpaw did her hunter's crouch, trying to be as steady as she could, since she'd just come from the nursery after 6 moons. Good enough. Now try again. This time try not to wobble. Be firm with your hunter's crouch. Riverpaw tried again, and this time got it. Very good, River. Now, practice hunting, she told her. Riverpaw did her hunter's crouch, spun the mouse that she'd smelled, and, without making sound, she sprang on it and quickly killed it. Then she picked it up in her jaws and carried it back to her mentor, dropping it at both of their paws. Very good, Riverpaw, she praised. The more you practice, the better you'll do. Now, take your prey with us, and I'll teach you how to catch fish. After she'd taught her how to catch fish, and Riverpaw had gotten quite a few fish caught, Hellleap helped Riverpaw bring prey back to camp, which made the fresh kill pile bigger. You did quite well, Riverpaw. We'll do some battle training tomorrow. How about you pick something for the fresh kill pile and head to the apprentice day? We have a big day tomorrow, she instructed of her apprentice. Riverpaw did as she was told, picking out a squirrel. She then found a clear spot not far from the warrior's den and began to eat. As she did, one of the older apprentices, Smokepaw, passed by. He was about 10 moons and never was very nice to Riverpaw when she'd been a kid. Luckily, she had her adopted sister and Duskpelt's kits as backup. He was halfway through his training. He gave Riverpaw a not-so-nice face as he passed by. Then Riverpaw, who was being mentored by Flower Storm, sat down next to her with her own fresh kill, which was a fish. Hey, Riverpaw, how was your first day of training? She questioned her adopted sister, keeping her company. Another reason was because they were so close. It was almost like they were born to the same mother. It was great. I learned how to hunt prey and catch fish today, she replied happily. Hellleap says we'll be learning some battle moves tomorrow, she added. She couldn't wait to learn how to fight. Just like a new apprentice, she wanted to be the best warrior. Don't worry about Smokepaw and the others. Just be yourself and show them you're a Riverclad cat as much as they are. Riverpaw encouraged her, knowing what Riverpaw felt deeply, even if she didn't say it. I don't understand why they don't trust me. I've been loyal ever since we were kids, and they brought me in as their own. I will never disobey the rules, she told Riverpaw. You weren't born Riverclad, Riverpaw. Past things have happened to Riverclad that makes them question the loyalty of those not born in the clan. The elders don't like to tell some of the stories a lot. But Blue Star comes from Blood Clan. Tiger Star has been dead for a few generations or so, but she put Blood Clan together with a group of rogues. Tiglestar was the most vicious cat that ever lived until one of the rogue scourge killed him. Tiglestar is in the Dark Forest now. He had a lot of ambition. After the Blood Clan events, Bluestar was what's second guessed too, and she doesn't trust cats very well unless they're shown that they are loyal to River Clan only. There are more stories I could tell you whenever you would like, she explained to her, so the other cats could hear what she was saying to Riverpaw. Don't mention that I said anything. Firestorm would claw my pelt, and I'd probably be ordered to clean the elders' pelts more than usual if they knew I spoke of Tiglestar. None of us like to say his name because of the horrible things he did when he was alive. But that doesn't fully explain why loyalty is such a problem, Riverpaw replied. Well, you'll learn over time, Riverpaw replied. Both of them finished their play and then headed to the apprentice den together. There was a fresh nest right next to Riverpaw, which Riverpaw took. Chapter 3. After being an apprentice for 13 moons, Riverpaw was finally ready for her warrior ceremony. She'd done impeccably well, despite not being clan-born. She'd done nearly better than some of the apprentices. By now, Smokepaw was already a warrior with the name of Smokepelt. Now it was her turn. She'd shown every cat that she could work just as hard, sometimes harder than any cat. She was working really hard to show that she was loyal to RiverClan and RiverClan only. She wished her real parents were here to see the cat that she'd become. Redpaw, Streampaw, and Stormpaw were already warriors with the names of Streamstorm, Stormtail, and Redcloud. Even though she was about a moon behind Streamstorm, Stormtail, and Redcloud, she was happy to finally be a warrior alongside them. She was excited for this day to come, although she withheld her excitement, reminding herself that she could no longer act like a kid. She knew better now. When Bluestar jumped onto the high rock, she knew what was coming. It was her warrior ceremony. Finally, she thought. It seemed like she'd been waiting to become a warrior longer than she actually had been waiting. It felt like she'd been waiting for maybe 20 moons or more, but really it had only been 13 moons. Although she knew what was coming, she waited for Bluestar to say the traditional calling of the clan before she moved from her spot by the warrior's den. Let every cat old enough to catch his prey be seated here beneath the high rock for a clan meeting, Bluestar announced to her clan. Each cat sat below the high rock. Smokepelt was in the middle, and Riverpaw sat in front with Redcloud, Streamstorm, and Stormtail. Then Bluestar spoke when she saw that the clan was settled. Riverpaw, step forward. Riverpaw did as Bluestar told her to, sitting in front of the high rock. Hill leap. Has Riverpaw done well with her assessment? She asked her. She has, Bluestar. Bluestar gave a nod as an acknowledgement to her. Then she continued. I, Bluestar, leader of RiverClan, call upon my warrior ancestors to look down on this apprentice. She has trained hard to understand the ways of your noble code, and I commend her to you as a warrior in her turn. She looked down at her, and she looked up at her leader. Riverpaw, do you promise to uphold the warrior code and to protect and defend your clan, even at the cost of your life? I do, Riverpaw answered. Then by the powers of StarClan, I give you your warrior name. Riverpaw, from this moment on, you will be known as Riverheart. StarClan honors your dedication and determination, and we welcome you as a full warrior of RiverClan. She touched Riverheart's hand with her nose, and Riverheart licked her shoulder. Then, after the clan chanted Riverheart's name, Breestar jumped off the high rock, dismissing the clan. Then she went and sat at the entrance that night in mingle. She had to be silent due to tradition, as she'd been told. She couldn't wait for her life to finally begin the next day as a real warrior. She knew that if her real parents had been in RiverClan, they would have been proud. She didn't know if they were alive or not, though. That night of rain pouring heavily, she'd overheard her parents say why they had to leave her behind. They could barely provide for themselves, much less her too. And her father had been right, because RiverClan had taken her in, hoping for high hopes. She'd brought high hopes to RiverClan throughout everything. Apart from Smoke Pelt, she'd given every cat the assurance that she would never betray RiverClan no matter what.